Hey peeps and squeaks, it's your girl PG Oink, and today, instead of Stardew, we are actually playing a different game. This is called Chaos semicolon Child. This is my little frog plush. His name is Mr. President. If you've ever watched Over the Garden Wall, that's where his name comes from. We had like this anime con in my little town. Yeah, I dressed up as like a female version, a gender bent version of Gregory from Over the Garden Wall. And you know how he always carries his little frog. Editor, can you put a picture of him? Anyways, enough small talk. Let's just go right into it. November 6th, 2009 AD. It came without a warning. Okay, dope. Okay, we got city. This is the art style is really pretty. Oh. Aliens? Explosion? It's not funny. I know a lot of people probably died from that, but like the sound of the screams was like so muffled and kind of funny. It's not funny. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake with an epicenter directly under the city. The disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas to nothing in a single night. Damn. Rough. The high-rise building that had birthed so many trends and fads collapsed, as if giving up on their role in society. Black fire spread through the city. As individuals fell into the grip of the crowd's psychology, their terror was magnified. Combined, all of these things took many lives. The final death toll was 3,851. The final number of injured, 30,927. This event would later be known as the Shibuya earthquake. Oh, hold up. My back hurt out of nowhere. I'm only 20, and I feel like I already have so many problems. Like I creak when I walk. The psychological toll was incredible, and many of the survivors would later manifest symptoms similar to those associated with PTSD. Yeah, I would imagine that really sounds like a tragedy. The young were hit the hardest, and before long, the cause of those symptoms were given a name: Chaos Child Syndrome. Ah, Chaos Child. So that's the title of the game. Okay. Building codes were rigorously evaluated with an eye toward earthquake engineering, perhaps in an effort to emphasize the city's safety. Security cameras were put all over town. Shibuya would become a place where everyone could live in peace. That reminds me, my parents are from Taiwan. They used to live in like the 40th floor of an apartment building. Looks basically just like this. There's one time there was a big storm, and my mom told me the terrifying story of how the whole building was just going like this, like left and right. Is this left? Left and right, left and right. It was just swaying back and forth, and all that to say is the swaying is part of that earthquake engineering. I don't know, I don't understand the details of it, but I'm pretty sure it just takes in that energy or whatever. I don't like it. It's more, you know, you like this, instead of it being still in the moment there's like, you know, an earthquake, it just whatever. Anyway, back to what I was doing. But at the same time, a rumor began to spread about the earthquake. Something about this earthquake doesn't make sense. There were no aftershocks, and the damage had spread in a strange way. Areas only a kilometer away from Shibuya suffered few casualties and even fewer collapsed buildings. This damage pattern had never been observed in any prior earthquake, and so more than a few pundits claim the Shibuya earthquake must have been artificial. More than anything, some of the survivors all said the same things. I saw a white light. I heard a sound like a ringing in my ears. Aliens! Aliens! Like the meme with the guy, and he's all like aliens. Too many people experience this for anyone to laugh it off, but no cause of those phenomena was ever found. It was just more evidence to those who believed that something about the earthquake had been wrong. Then 6 years after the strange earthquake in 2015 ... something else was about to attract the attention of the reborn city of Shibuya. Oh, I think the whole beginning story is finally over. I want to play the game already. Intro? If you are God and the delusion becomes reality. About what kind of noise... I couldn't read it fast enough. September 7th, 2015, Sunday night.
はい。ではいつも通り3分くらい募集をかけるんで適当によろです。
I know it's a Japanese game, but it just... I'm going to take 3 minutes for questions. Get to it. The second he spoke, the comment box started to fill. Yuma Otani watched it for a few seconds, and then saw the request, when does Haru tell us she's dating someone? He smiled to himself. Just what he wanted. Is I am Otani. Whoa. The art is really nice. Most of the requests were about hot actors or cute idols. His audience were so stupid that it was easy to tell exactly what they were going to ask. The problem was always whether the name that came up was someone he knew. That was a question of luck and how popular they were. Is he a streamer? I think he's a streamer. But Haru, her full name was Haruko something or other. She was fine. Just a few days ago, he forced himself to go to an event he'd rather have skipped and seen it for himself.
Yosh.
Yosh! Okay. Satisfied, Otani got up to get some snacks, like he always did. He lived in a 1-bedroom condo located 8 minutes from Shibuya Station. Cost 150,000 yen per month. It had been built after the earthquake, so the furnishing and layout were modern. It looks nice, from what I can see. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he lived in last year, it was heaven. Next year, maybe I'll move somewhere more convenient. At 21 years old, Otani felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he'd gotten big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he stopped leaving his room altogether. Oh, that's not... that's not good. I mean, gaming is fun. But, you know, you still gotta leave your house, socialize, get friends, and enjoy the sunlight. Then he'd gotten addicted to drugs that made him sleepy, but did nothing else. Oh no. Once seeing only darkness in his future, he'd plan to commit suicide. No. In the chaos after the earthquake 6 years ago, he'd finally managed to leave his room, but his family had already given up on him. Oh. After he failed his entrance exams, he went to live on his own in Shibuya, and he hadn't spoken to his parents since. As far as they knew, he'd failed his exams 3 times in a row. In fact, he hadn't even gone to the test after the first time. Damn. There wasn't anything he wanted to learn in college or any companies he wanted to work for badly enough. He had no goal in life at all. I say that like so gleefully, but this is so sad. Well, I think it's supposed to be leading up to something hopeful, because now he's a streamer, right? It seems like he's being successful, but things are very different now. Maybe At-chan does tell the truth sometimes. Guess I'll have some cheese. He took a block of cheap cheese he bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Usually he never ate anything this cheap. Okay. But on Nikoniya live streaming, it wasn't just what you said. How you looked when you said it also mattered. Otani wasn't a good-looking man, let alone a cute girl. He was just a plain old guy, and so to keep his program popular, he needed to make them think he was poor, barely managing to scrape by, in fact. Oh, he's fake! He's a fraud. He's a fake. He's a faker. He's a fake. That's why he kept the area around his PC and the parts of his apartment that you can see with his webcam completely plain. Last month, he'd finally reached his goal of 4,000 viewers. That sounds really good. For a man with nothing going on for him like Otani, this was extremely unusual. 3 months ago, he'd guessed the winners of a popularity contest a certain idol group was holding, as well as their total number of votes. That must have really paid off. After that, his numbers had been going up steadily. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nikoniya's page, he'd seen a huge increase. Right now, he'd gotten above 4,500, and it was quite possible he'd break 5,000 by the end of the month. That's great. That sounds amazing. It was around late last year when he started to wonder about his power. Power? It was a certain rumor on one of At-chan's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. What does that mean? The name he'd chosen for his stream sadly reflected this. Then I learned that I can see the future. Is that his name? Because that's kind of lame. But also, okay, so he can see the future, I guess. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. Oh, I thought that was him cutting. There was a strange sound.
Huh?
So I guess he sounds like a knock. Sounds like someone's knocking. He thought he just imagined it when... Okay, very peculiar knocking pattern. Do, 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 do. Is that Morse code for something? I don't know if this is just me either, but when I knock, I always do the stupid... Actually, no, it's not just me. Everyone does this, but it's the thing. You know? It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door. Okay. Who is it? So mysterious.
Mitsurin ka?
Huh? Jungle, maybe. Who's Jungle? Suspicious. He walked towards the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Okay, that's sus. Back away from the door. Maybe barricade it. Maybe turn off the lights. Not exactly normal delivery hours.
なんだよ。つか、生放送中だ。
なんだよ! I'm streaming right now. He tried to ignore it. But... ... Oh, they're knocking again. This is so creepy. I think this is what scared me. I mean, I think when I first played it, it was like late at night, and so it was like, it was kind of freaking me out a little. And then like the audio is just, it's so good to where like it literally sounds like there's a knock. So this is partially why I'm playing it right now in the daytime. Like it's 2 o'clock. The knocking continued. It was the same rhythm at the same pace. As if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but simply to make that sound. Otani felt a little bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera and see who it was, but then realized it would be pointless. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had a camera. What? The door to Otani's room and the 5th floor had an intercom but no camera. Otani gave up. If you want something, push the intercom button. Ooh, that's so creepy. I would just ignore it. I don't know. Maybe it's a drunk. No. I would ignore it. I would not even open the door, dude. Like, no, the knocks were too steady for that. And there were no voice yelling at him to open up. I feel like this is a little creepier than if someone were yelling. Although in both scenarios, I would probably start crying. He has a funny voice. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow this made the door seem intimidating. Moving on, I'm going to try to be a little quicker with this. I'll try to summarize the dialogue instead of reading through all of it. But he thought he might look at the peephole, but he was scared to even get to the door. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. Cool. He turned to the living room, see if he used the intercom and see what they wanted. Otani, it's me. Sorry to come by so suddenly. Okay, so someone who knows him? He stopped when he heard that voice. Huh? It's me. I'm very sorry to bother you at this hour. Otani tried to remember who the speaker was, but he found he couldn't. From the tone of his voice, the words, they probably weren't a weirdo. I wouldn't trust that. When they said I'm sorry, it sounded like they really meant it. I don't trust it. This is already freaking me out a little. Otani sighed softly with relief. He was still carrying the knife he had been using to cut the cheese. Yeah, keep that. He suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He laid the knife on top of the sink. I feel like I would still carry it, just in case. Hi, ima kimasu. I don't know. I think that's what he said. I'll open it now. Who is it? It's me. Don't you remember? That is so creepy. This is creepy. This is super creepy. Don't fucking open the door, dude. The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Oh, he whispered it to himself, so he didn't actually ask. He narrowed his eyebrows. He looked them up and down. Their eyes met.
あんたらどこのどなた
Who are you guys? Otani suddenly felt a piercing headache. It's weird to say like a Japanese name and then immediately go into English. Gah! Oh, whoa. Oh my gosh, hold up. I swear I thought there's a heartbeat sound and I swear that was real for a second and I just suddenly got really paranoid. Oh my gosh, hold up. I just suddenly got really paranoid.
Huh? Huh?
This game is really scary.
Huh?
I'm actually really scared right now. I'm just gonna... Okay, what's going on? He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. Why do I feel so paranoid? I hope you guys can still see me. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put his other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like the old days when he'd overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. Mr. President, I'm so scared. He grit his teeth against the pain and dug his nails against the wall that was holding him up. As he waited for the pain in his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind. Okay. Mr. Otani, are you okay? He heard a voice he'd heard many times before, and he felt concerned. He felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him.
最近たまにあるんだ
This happens sometimes lately. Sure. I heard a clicking sound. Okay. Overwork, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard.
相変わらず心配性だなお前は大丈夫だよ
Damn. I wish I
I
was way better with Japanese. You're such a worrier. I'm fine. Come in. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he let his important guests inside. Who are these people? As he turned his back on his guest, he told himself that... Sorry. It had been a long time since he'd seen them, or maybe not. It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they'd last met, so he knows them. It only felt long because he wanted to see them so badly.
そうだせっかく来てもらったのにすまん
Oh right, it was nice of you to come by, but I'm streaming. While he was out here, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Oh, don't worry about us.
いやお前ら相手にそういうわけにもいかないだろ
Japanese sounds so pretty. No, I can't do that to you guys. What's wrong?
いやなんでもない
No, it's nothing. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. What do you mean? That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. He cut into the surface, and it made an unpleasant sound he had never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it would not go further. This is so creepy. This is so creepy, guys. I feel so paranoid. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Oh my gosh. I heard a thud, but it was just my neighbor. They're very loud, but that scared me. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. Frozen cheese? And even though he had just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. Kuso! What's going on with this thing? Ooh. Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through it.
ふざけんなよ。
God damn it! I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. What do they look like, though? They had another knife. Oh! Red flag! Red flag! Red flag! Red flag, why do they have another knife? Red flag! Red flag! That's a red flag! That's such a red flag! Get out of there! When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting this thing. This is so creepy. No, get out! No! Why do they have a knife? Oh, I hate that sound. They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Otani, their voices slightly low. Otani realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone and lowered his voice as well. Ah. He grinned and nodded. His guests had introduced him to the firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers. This job's all about predicting trends, so it's perfect for me. I can't lose. Then why do these streams? It's hard to say, I guess. I guess you can say that I'm trying to see how far I can go. That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs. Why is the camera moving? Why is it moving? Okay. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do. No one's done this before, so I can't ask anybody about it. You know? I heard a thud. Why am I so scared? Literally nothing's happening, but I'm like, I swear I'm not faking this. I am so easily paranoid. So I want to do everything I can by myself, or am I sounding like a show-off? No, it's wonderful, I think. And done. After he smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. Warina. Sorry to make you help like that. Oh, it's nothing. Go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished. Whoa. Thanks. If you want something from the fridge, grab it. Oh, but be quiet. Jeez. It's not so thinly sliced, though, as I was expecting. Otani took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late. Did he log off?" What should have been 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. Otani put a bite of cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly. So sorry! I bought this cheese on sale and it's just so incredibly hard. Pulling up that little cheap, I'm broke. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being porn star. Yeah, there you go. A little actor. And as he hoped, the comments started to come in. This is weird. I heard you have new hobbies. What happened? I'm very worried. Yeah, this makes me sick. You trained in Hollywood? I can't read the comments or watch this. Huh? Otani's face took on a confused expression. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake poor room. The music stopped. Oh my god, my heart has literally dropped. Is something wrong? My heart is racing right now, guys. I am not joking, y'all. I'm losing my shit a little bit. He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out toward it. In an instant, his headache was back. Wow, everything's blood red! This is so scary. Yeah! Oh, it was the same pain as before? No. Worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad that he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason his right hand wouldn't move. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. It's not funny. It's not. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. Oh, he gasped. What are the comments saying? It's going too fast. This happened because... Oh my gosh, I heard a sound. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of awful magic trick. Nandakure? What's going on? He suddenly heard the sound of something wet dripping onto the floor. His eyes reflexively turned towards it. His right arm was gone at the elbow, and the stump was gushing blood. There was a pool of it on the floor, and the sound he heard was the new blood splattering into it. Huh? Oh my god, what's going on? Otani didn't understand what had happened to him. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain and what remained of his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping to the floor. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. It was sitting on a plate. At first, it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about 1 centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate in roughly his arm's original shape. Ugh, I felt paranoid. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm, but sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. Ugh. He saw something solid in the middle of it. Oh! Ew! 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 It was his thumb! He ate his thumb! Oh! Ew. I'm literally shaking right now, guys. I'm literally shaking right now. I don't know if you can see, but it was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly he remembered it. What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he had never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned towards the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filled with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. Oh, censor that! Censor that! Editor, please put cute dog memes. A dog playing in the park. Copyright free. And put on some nice music. And I'm just gonna try to describe this. He is crying from his eyes. Bloodstained. Very bloodstained. Very red eyes. Blood coming out of his nostrils. I'm getting paranoid just from talking about it. Foaming at the mouth, bloody teeth, bloody lips, bleeding everywhere. His neck is covered in blood. His chest is covered in blood. I wish I was looking at dog memes instead right now. So you should feel very lucky. As the whole world turned red, Otani didn't even realize that his lips were turning purple. His lips had turned purple from the lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from his severed thumb, which he had chewed. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious and tears fell from his eyes. Keep showing the dog memes, by the way. The tears seemed pink to him. Otani was weeping blood. He died. Bruh. You can come back. No more dog thing. Or actually, hold up. I feel like something else is gonna happen. Still facing the camera. Oh, put the dog meme. Put the dog meme. Put the dog meme. Ew. His guests watched the chain of events unfold and silently headed for the door. It was them. They did this. They're sus. They were so sus. Just before they left the room, goodbye. They said goodbye. Oh, the fact that we couldn't see them too. This gives me so much anxiety. They said as if nothing at all was wrong and shut the door. Dog memes! Dog memes! It's back! It's so scary! What the hell? It's a picture of him on his laptop, completely dead, eyes wide open, cracked glasses, bleeding everywhere, tongue purple, comments blasting. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna put a pause on this because scary. Yeah, I don't know if I can yeah, but thank you for watching. I don't know if you want to watch part 2 or not, but I'm scared. I'm gonna quit this now so I don't have to. I'm gonna check my house real quick. I'm gonna check my apartment, make sure I'm the only one here with my cat and my duck. Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Thank you, Mr. President, for being here with me because I was really scared. Say bye to everyone. Bye. And I will see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed the video. If not, comment that as well. I would like to hear your roast. I would like to hear good things, positive or negative. I don't really care. Just drop down a comment, like, subscribe. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!